Okay, good to go.
Y'all have it going? All right. Awesome. All right, guys, welcome to tonight's call. We got Fierce Ambition, Never Surrender, Live Fearless. We're all on here. And we have a really good call. I'm excited to hear from Kelly tonight. But first, we have to do some recognition. We want to welcome our new coaches to the team. Carmen, Courtney, Jenna, and Casey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you. We hope you're either on the call or will be listening to the recording. As we say every week, this time of year between January and March is one of the best times of the year to start a business with Beachbody. There's just usually so much excitement, New Year's resolutions. People are just ready to get involved. So welcome, and we look forward to learning more about you guys on our calls and in our pages. This week, Ashley decided to, instead of showing rank, we decided we're going to show Success Club. This is a ladder you want to be on, a club you want to be in. This is pretty awesome. If you look at all these numbers, these are lives changed. I know a lot of people I see call it the Lives Change Club. So this is pretty awesome. And look at all the names on there. We have a week left in the month. So if you're not on here or you're not at 5, you still have plenty of time to make that happen. But look at the amazing numbers at the top with Key and Amanda and Christy and Kristen and Christine and Trisha and Desiree. That's awesome. You guys all have 10 plus. Key Perry, awesome, amazing. SC20. That's just really cool, especially because I believe Key was the coach who didn't really want to run a business anyway. So that's really awesome. So congratulations to everybody that's already hit 5. And if you haven't, keep pushing. Just because there's only a week left doesn't mean that you stop pushing. It doesn't mean that you can't make it. You can do it if that's something that you want to do. And remember the new challenge pack of Beachbody On Demand, I can't even think straight, is 3 Success Club points. So 2 of those challenge packs has you in Success Club. 2 lives changed equals Success Club 6. So everybody can manage that this month. You can and you will. And as always, we have recognition. If you have somebody on this team that you would like to recognize, please reach out to Ashley or myself so that we can help you recognize them on this call. We have 2 amazing coaches up here today, 2 beautiful faces. I really wanted to recognize Kayla this week. She is a mom of 3 like I am, and her youngest was born on the exact same day as Cora, so we have that in common. The reason why I wanted to recognize Kayla is because she is one of the most determined people I see posting every single day. I know besides the fact that she has these 3 beautiful children and is a busy, busy person, that she's also struggles with depression, yet she is there posting, motivating, and determined to make things change for herself. And she gets up and she posts a live video of herself every day working out. And I think it's absolutely amazing that she does that. And I know that Alicia wanted to say a couple things too. In honor of Keela, and
yes,
I had the same idea as me this week.
So I also wanted to just recognize Kayla for her consistency in posting and just being real and unapologetically her. Like, she does these live workouts to Shaun T with their kids running around in the background, and she shows other people that they can do it too. And she also just shares her postpartum journey. I mean, it hasn't been easy for her. She struggled with postpartum depression, and she puts it out there, not in the hopes for challenge pack sales, but in the hopes of helping other people. And that is what, the heart of this business is about. So awesome job, Kayla.
Yes, awesome. And then you saw at the top of our Success Club point earning list was Key. And I know she's doing amazing things. And Christine DeSimus wanted to recognize her tonight. So go ahead, Christine.
I do. Key Perry. She is my 6th grade BFF. And we got in touch through this. So cool, right? And the thing about Key, like you mentioned at the top of the call, she wasn't in it for business. She did it because she had an amazing transformation. She never thought that she could do this thing. That I remember our original conversation, because she's so busy. She's a working mom. but she received great results and she wanted to pass that along. And the why it works for her so seamlessly, she makes it look so easy, is because she's so damn genuine. She's real. She's going to tell you she's going to have that glass of wine. She's going to tell you everything about her journey, and I appreciate that, and I love that about her. And she's awesome to watch. She's kick-ass. So, oh, sorry, I don't know if there's any kids, but she's great. So I wanted to recognize Key. Thanks, Dana.
No problem. Thank you. And congrats, ladies. And really quick, I just wanted to point out, and to you, Ashley, too, is I was talking to Alicia about Kayla, and I was like, Kayla, you're personally sponsored. And she's like, no, she's Shannon's coach's coach. I was like, oh my gosh, that far down? And she's like, yeah, she's like 7 down from you, which means 8 down from you, Ashley, and she's like, do you realize how big this team is and how, like, our one simple decision has spread so far and wide at this point? It's kind of crazy. So
wow, that is crazy too. And especially because when I run all the reports, it doesn't tell me, like, I take everything to Excel. So it doesn't tell me like who belongs to who and how many levels down we are. So that's just crazy to think how many levels, and the other awesome thing too I want to mention is, like, you are so many levels down or up from her, but you know her story. So it's just so awesome that even though our team grows and grows and grows, that we're still staying connected as a whole, that we know each other like that. Because I know it can kind of get crazy where you're like, you don't even know the people on your team anymore. So that's pretty special.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. One of the reasons I love our team. Mm-hmm. All right, so go ahead, Ash.
I wanted to, well, first of all, I asked in our Upline's Diamond page if anybody would swap calls with us. And Kelly was the first one to say, I'll do it, tell me a day, tell me whatever to talk about, and I'll do it. So I'm so appreciative of her, and she's a busy mom also, but I'm just so thankful that she was like, I'll do it, call on me, I'll host your call. So just, first of all, thank you for doing that. And then Kelly actually shares my upline. So we are sister coaches. Our upline is Danielle. And let me see. Kelly is lifetime 3-star diamond. She's a Success Club All-Star legend. She's 2014 Premier Coach. She's the founder of Team Harmony. She's a mom of 3, and she is a full-time band teacher. She lost 65 pounds in the beginning of her journey, and in 2012 and 2013. So I know she's going to touch on that because she, like myself and Dana, had a baby this year, and she is back on her health and fitness journey. So she has been a coach, since I have, and she's just such an amazing. She's very real, and she'll tell you how it is and how she feels, and she's very unapologetically her. So I'm so excited and so thankful that you volunteered to do our team call. So I love you, and go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm going to share a few pictures with you, so I will, because I found what I was looking for as you guys were talking. Congratulations to everybody. And was that Success Club from January so far? You guys rock. That's awesome. Dude, that's what you're going to talk about on my team call. It's Success Club. Anyways. My name, like Ashley said, is Kelly Levere. If you see me on Facebook, it's Kelly Elizabeth, because I am a beginning band teacher. I'm still out on maternity leave. I go back to work on March 27th. I know I don't want to, but at the same time, I do. I have this internal debate in my head. Do I want to quit work and do Beachbody full time, or do I want to work and do Beachbody on my lunch break? And for me, it's really nice because when I am working, I have these really strict set hours to work my business. So I only work so much Beachbody, and it actually helps me, I think, because right now I'm like, oh, sure, I'll play with you children, or, oh, look, I'll go take a nap, and I'm not a real structured person. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. All right. So I started my journey with Beachbody in 2012, so back in the dark ages, 4.5 years ago. I had my second child, my daughter, in June of that year, and I was blessed to have a VBAC. If you don't know what that is, it's a vaginal birth after cesarean, and had a 12-hour labor. I know, rock on. It was one of the most empowering things I've ever done in my life. I was in labor for 12 hours, and I pushed for 3. And it was horrible and awful, but it was the most amazing thing I had ever done. And right after I had my daughter, Danny and I know each other from muscular dystrophy camp when I was 19 years old. My sister has muscular dystrophy, and Danny and I were both camp counselors. And that's how I met Danny. We went to college together for a year and hung out and got into some trouble. And then we kind of lost touch. And then Facebook became a thing because we went to college before Facebook was a thing. We still put up away messages on AIM. And showing my age. And we reconnected on Facebook. And, you know, of course, Danny invited me like 5,000 times. She's like, hey, why don't you do this? And I was like, hey, no. And no, and no, and no, and no. And then as I'm sitting at home postpartum, my second child, sitting there topless breastfeeding, as you do in the first couple months, you sit there without your shirt on. And I see Danny posting about being in Las Vegas. I'm like, what the hell? So, by the way, I swear. So I am sorry. I will try and keep it to a minimum. I apologize. No, I don't. That's me. That's what I do. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I'm going to look into this beach party thing because she looks like she's having fun. And there's a lot of really cute boys there, even though I am happily married to the guy who started walking upstairs. So I look into it. I see her doing these workouts with all these, you know, Shanti, ripped abs, Tony Horton, and, you know, Shalene and all these people. And then I was like, dude, this is stupid. Who is going to make a company named Beachbody? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because who wants a beach body? I'm a mom who just had a baby. I just want to be able to fit into my jeans again. Forget the Beachbody thing. So I, you know, threw it out of my mind again. And that was in June. End of July, I had lost all my baby weight. If you've ever nursed a baby, the nursing cravings and the nursing hunger are worse than pregnancy cravings. They are 1,000,000 times worse, and you just want to eat everything in sight. So I lost all my baby weight, and we had a birthday party for Mike's grandmothers. They were born 2 days apart. So we had a birthday party the day between. And I refused to get in the pictures. I was wearing my clothes that I was uncomfortable in, and at that point I was probably a size 18, which for me was the biggest I had ever been. For some people that's the smallest they've ever been, and rock on with your bad self, man, that's awesome. For me, that was the biggest I had ever been, and it was pretty low. And I wouldn't get in the pictures, and when I saw them, and see, I was the one taking the pictures because I do photography on the side in addition to Beachbody Coach and all that. But I got in the picture, and when I developed it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I look ridiculous. And I ate some more because I hide my feelings in food. So that's what I do. Danny saw me, fast forward to the end of August, Danny saw me pinning some recipes on Pinterest, and she formed the crap out of me. She did what any good coach should do. She talked to me, she showed interest, and then she did the hook. She jabbed and hooked before she knew what jabbing and hooking was. She put up an ad for a 5-day sampler pack for teachers. And I messaged her and I was like, Danny, I'm not teaching right now because I'm on maternity leave, but can I still get that? Try that Shakeology? Dude, she put it up just so I would try it. Like, she was working me pretty hard. So, yeah, she's something else. So I got the 5 days of Shakeology. I tried it and I loved it. And in the meantime, and you have to understand my husband to know that he's harsh with what he says, but everything he says comes from love. He just doesn't always understand a female and how to say things. So we have the kids outside. We live on a 13.5-acre farm. And then over that way, we have 40 more acres that we have the run of. So we have the run of 55 acres here. We were taking the kids for a walk, and my husband looks at me and he goes, Kelly, are we going to talk about this? And I was like, what do you mean? And he looks at me and he goes, you're gaining weight and you're not pregnant. What is happening? And I wanted to die. I don't think I spoke to him for 3 weeks. But again, my husband didn't mean anything horrible by it. He was concerned. So I resorted inside in my little turtle shell like I do, and I thought about it, and I was loving the Shakeology that Danny got me, and I decided that it was now or never. If I can have a VBAC and I can do that, I can do anything. So I messaged Danny. I was like, all right, let's do this. So long story short, I picked Chalene Extreme. And in doing that, I want to show you guys this picture because I have a friend who's a professional photographer, and she put up on Facebook, I'm going to cry. So she put up on Facebook the one day, I'm looking for someone, there's a beautiful goldenrod field by my house, and I want to take pictures of someone. So I volunteered me and the kids. So she took this picture right there. That's me. That is my now 7.5-year-old son and my now 4.5-year-old daughter. Okay. Love those two babies more than anything in the world. However, when I got that picture back, because that wasn't me. I looked at myself and I cried because that was not the person I was on the inside. Let me show you one more because this one really got to me. This one really bothered me right there. The side view. That killed me. Those at that point were size 20 pants. Like I said, that was my very highest. So I decided that was it. I signed up. I bought Chalene Extreme. I got my Shakeology. I started working out, and I started drinking my Shakeology and eating clean immediately. I did not wait for the challenge group to start. 2 days into my challenge group, I decided I wanted to be a coach. Danny didn't say anything to me. I just saw how empowering it was in these women, what they were doing. This was back in the day when we were all in Katie Hefner's group, and it was Katie and Ashley and Melanie and Nikki and like all these people and Lindsay and like all these people that you see, like they're just normal people to me because they were back then, they are now. So I started and I didn't look back. My third day as a coach, I think it was October 5th. Ashley was even there, and I didn't even meet her. This is how new I was. I didn't really know who she was. I went to a training with, was it Denise Needham? Yeah, it was. It was Denise Needham, who's no longer with the company, but she was in Pittsburgh, and she did a 3 vital behaviors training, I think. And that day, she made us get out our phones and text everybody in our phones that we were starting a challenge group. And I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I hit Success Club, and I kept hitting Success Club. The bigger thing for me was, hang on one sec, let me see this. There we go, I can see my pictures. Was what happened. And I'm going to show you one more picture here. This is a picture that I have never shown anyone, ever. But I want to show it to you guys. I took this picture on September 13th. So this is right when I decided to start my journey. And this is me with my DSLR. You can see all that's still right behind me. That's my mirror right there. And that's what I looked like right there. And there was the side view. And those, honest to goodness, were the scariest pictures I've ever taken in my life. I did my workouts. I lived by my meal plan. In fact, my husband wanted to go on a date, and I was crying. He's like, why are you crying? I want to take you on a date. And I was like, I can't go out to eat anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to eat the food I have planned. So we did that. By the end of the first month, I'm trying to find the pictures. I'm sorry, I'm not more organized. This is typical Kelly here for you. By the end of the first month, I I'd only lost 10 pounds. I say only. But I went to Target because I needed a new pair of jeans. And I texted Danny while I was there. And I'll never forget what she said. She went, "Can I share this on social media?" And I was like, not my name. Because at this point, I hadn't told anybody. And I told her, I was like, "Don't you dare tell anybody that I'm doing this. Ever. Ever." So we took this picture. I sent her this. And that was me in a size 16 or 14? 14. That was me in a size 14 a month later. From cleaning up my diet. I only lost 10 pounds at that point. But cleaning up my diet and all that. Okay, so I had this amazing, amazing transformation. I worked my butt off. I did all this really cool stuff. I did Chalene Extreme, which is one of the only programs I've completed start to finish. I fixed that. I'll tell you about that in a sec. And then I finished my 30 days. And then in January of the next year, life got bad. And life got bad because half mile down the road, my husband's cousin was in a car accident with her and her 3.5-year-old and her baby, who was 2 days away from being 1. And it was black ice, and the boys were killed. And I have never experienced anything like that. January 9th, 2013, Steph, I believe that's the day your daughter was born. Stephanie, one of the coaches in my downline, and the same day her daughter was born. Never forget it. Never forget the phone call. But I learned to take the grief that we had and channel it and work through. So I did Chalene Extreme. I did Body Beast. I did P90. I started P90X, and P90X was the program I was doing when the boys died. And I have this real bad taste in my mouth about P90X because I associate it with the boys dying. So I just can't do that one. I did X3. I did a whole smattering of programs. And this is what happened. When it came time to be for my year, I looked something. Where's it at? Where'd it go? I looked something like this. Or this was my, oh no, that's a lie. I'm sorry, ignore me. This was my wrong picture. Here was my before and my after, my 1 year before and after. Here we go. Okay. Before and after, 1 year. There's that one. There's the back view. And there's the side view. So I had a really awesome journey. And on that journey, I was able to build this amazing team. I had all these people with me that I loved, and I was sharing unapologetically. If I look back at my time hop, or I guess in Facebook memories or whatever it is now, and you see all these things that we talk about when we teach people how to post about, we'll do this and do that and do this and do that. No one taught me how to post. All they said was, please don't post your direct link. After I had already posted my direct link on Facebook, I was like, here, buy my shit. And that was not a good idea. So I look back on all these things and I'm like, wow, life was good. My team was growing. I skipped Summit my first year because I still had I had a 1-year-old who was nursing a lot, and I didn't want to take a 1-year-old with me because that would have been rough. So my team comes, we're doing all our things, and my friend Amanda joined me, who is still with me. She's one of my stars, one of my diamonds. Come December, I got a random message from a girl named Allison Stow, who we went to high school together. She's like, dude, I need your help. I was like, all right, dude, let's do this. So she did P90X3 with me. She was a 4-star qualifying. She's more stars than me, which I think is amazing. I love it when my coaches get to surpass what I do. I think it's amazing, and she's very talented. And then Vicky Bunch, who is no longer a coach, but because of a stupid rule. And she did the same thing. My team was just flourishing and it was growing. So all of 2014, my team rocked. We were well on our way. We were really close to hitting elite that year. But we missed the mark, which is okay. I didn't think at the time it was okay. And when we hit Premier, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if anyone else has ever really, really, really had a goal and they missed that goal by that much. And Premier, I always said, felt like the redheaded stepchild of Beachbody. Now, Premier now gets a lot more than they used to when it first came out. But I didn't enjoy the accolades. Now, for me now, I don't care if I'm a leader Premier. I want to see my team succeed, and I want to see my challengers succeed. Over the course of my tenure, when I started coaching, it was about get people into challenge groups, give them a good experience, teach them how to share their journey, show them that they're already coaching, and have them sign on as a coach. Somewhere along the line, we lost track of that. I'm not sure where, I'm not sure how, but the whole company did, or all the coaches did. Not the company, the coaches. And recently we've gotten back to that, which makes me so happy. That vital process that Carl talks about, guys, it's spot on. Seriously. So 2014 was awesome. That picture you saw, that really nice one that Danette did of me, which I look nothing like now. This is my weak attempt at eye makeup. Really weak. But sorry I say a lot. It happens. Danette took that picture of me, and then 2 months later, I was texting my friend, Amanda. I was texting her and I said, Amanda, I said, tell me what you think this is. Do you think this thing on my hand is a wart? Or do you think it's just dry skin? And she was like, dude, that's gross. Why are you showing me that? And I was like, come on, we show each other our kids' poop, for God's sakes. Come on, don't do that. So I showed her that picture, and little did I know that picture, and this is the picture right here. Little did I know that this picture was going to change my life. Do you guys see those little, am I showing you my whole screen? Nope, just that one. Can you guys see those little tiny bumps on my index finger there? Little teeny tiny bumps. There's 2 there. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but there's some all over the place. I'll draw for you because that's fun. They're here, and they're here, and there's one there. See those? That's what I was talking about. So, clear all. Yeah, did you know you can do that on Zoom? That's pretty cool, huh? So I had that little thing. I was like, whatever. And then forgot about it. At the end of the month, I went out to Denver for a retreat with Allison. She invited me out. And while I was out there, I started getting red and splotchy everywhere. And I ended up having to go to the Faster Care, or, quick minute clinic, or whatever you call it. And they had to, do a steroid injection into my butt. And it was really fun and all that good stuff. And that started my journey that would continue until after Summit, after the end of July 2015, where I was diagnosed with, I have 6 of the 11 markers for lupus, but they are all soft markers. So my official diagnosis is ANA positive with a steroid responsive rash and Hashimoto's disease. Okay, so I have all these things. And in the course of it, I did the Ultimate Reset, which if you've never done it, you need to do it. It is literally the best program Beachbody has. It is fan-freaking-tastic. It's the one I've seen the most results from, even more than Chalene Extreme. I lost 43 pounds in 90 days with Chalene Extreme, and with the Ultimate Reset, it was even better. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person, whenever things are crumbling around me, I take that energy and I bring it into myself and I retreat. Remember I told you I crawl in my turtle shell? I retreat. And that's what I did. In August, my rash got really bad. I had to wear hats all the time. I had to wear UV protective shirts because I couldn't be out in the sun. I fell into very, very, very deep depression. So much so that Allison, Amanda, and Vicky in September, Vicky was a little jerk and she messaged me and she's like, hey, can you Zoom for a minute? And I was like, sure. And then they ambushed me, all three of them. And they're like, what are you doing? Because I had retreated so much. It was in my head. It was just something I was dealing with. So then middle of September comes, the rash isn't getting better. I'm on a medicine called Plaquenil, and it takes 16 weeks to get into your body. So for the last 6 weeks of getting Plaquenil into my body, weeks 10, weeks 11 through 16, I was on steroids, really high doses of steroids. So all that progress that I had made to get down to like 155 pounds, which for me, I look like this at 155 pounds. That some people, they look obese at 155 pounds, not me. I'm too tall and these are too big. So at all that hard work I had, in 6 weeks, I gained 30 pounds. 30. Because steroids suck. I don't know if you've ever been on them, but they're awful. They're horrible. I was a horrible, nasty person. My husband and I almost divorced daily, and it was just very bad. Luckily, towards the end of October, I was weaning myself off of the I was weaning myself off of the steroids, and my rash didn't come back, which was great. We were so excited. So, I'm back on my team. I'm like, yo, team, I'm back. Let's do this, because my mind was in the right place again. And then a month later, I got a positive pregnancy test. And I went, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because not only did I gain those 30 pounds, now I'm pregnant. And I'm like, shit, I want to gain more. This is awful. So that was the beginning of December. On December 22nd, I started to lose the baby. I started bleeding heavily, clots. If you've ever had a miscarriage, it was exactly what a miscarriage was. I called my doctor. I was like, you need to get my numbers taken. You need to check. I'm 100% I'm losing this baby. I know I am. So I went in. They counseled me through it. They gave me a kit because it was my third miscarriage. So they wanted me to collect the tissue sample for genetic testing. I know. So I get my blood work done and everything, and on Christmas Eve, I got a phone call from my midwife, and I was like, hey, what's up? She goes, hey, you're pregnant. And I was like, what? She goes, your numbers are way too high for you to have a miscarriage. And I went, shut the front door. Shut up. No, I'm not. She went, you're coming in here in an hour, and we're doing an ultrasound. I'll be damned if we didn't go in and there was a heartbeat. I don't know how there was a heartbeat. So I try to think about this. So we go in and they see this subchorionic hemorrhage. Don't know if you guys have ever seen one of those. It's this big bleed that's behind your placenta. And it's there. And the doctor says, don't get your hopes up. That's the biggest one I've ever seen. I was like, here we go again. So we're good, on Christmas Day. The next day after Christmas, I start bleeding again. And they won't bring me in. They won't do anything. They're like, we already have something scheduled for January 7th. We're just going to keep watching. So I was bleeding, and then it would stop, and then I was bleeding, and it would stop, and I was bleeding, and it would stop. So I went into my appointment on January 7th, and the lady had said, how many miscarriages have you had? And I was like, 3. I've had 3. I know there's nothing in there. I mean, I was drinking wine again at that point. I was like, dude, no baby. And they do that, that magic wand of love for the ultrasound. Those are really fun. If you've never had one, consider yourself super lucky. It's really awesome. So they're like, hey, Kelly, here, put this magic wand in, and we're going to see if your baby's dead. I said, great. They put it in. That little shit had a heartbeat. Or a heartbeat again. What's going on? So I have a 5-month-old now, so you can guess how that went. He is absolutely amazing. I love him. He's the baby we never knew we needed in our family. During the pregnancy, as if having all those bleeding issues wasn't enough, we found out that I have isoimmunization, which is different than an autoimmune disorder. What it means is during my pregnancy with my daughter, my blood and her blood mixed, and she has my husband's blood type. He has a protein in his blood that my body doesn't have. So my body created antibodies to fight this protein. Okay? Well, they didn't tell me that any pregnancy afterwards, your body goes to the baby's blood. So I was monitored intensely the entire pregnancy. Blood work, at least once a month. Towards the end, it was every week. Non-stress tests, all that stuff. So you can imagine where my brain is. But the nice thing about pregnancy is autoimmune disorders quiet down. So I didn't have a rash at all, which was from the Plaquenil from the pregnancy. Who knows? So we go through everything. I'm set to have a second VBAC. We get back from a vacation in July in Texas, and my doctor says, nope, you're having another C-section, because she didn't like that I said no to a C-section. So anyways, 38 weeks I switched doctors, 39 weeks on the dot I delivered. Vaginally, in 3 pushes. Yeah, baby. It was at that moment that I decided again, I'm not going to let my business fail. I am not going to let my team down. I'm doing this. My cat's an asshole. I'm doing this. I am not going to apologize for being me anymore. I'm going to embrace everything that I am, because I'm a lot of things. Scared is not one of them. So I took it easy. I gave myself the, 5 weeks, and the yoga came out, and I was like, dude, I can do yoga. Come on. I had a VBAC. This is not massive surgery. Yeah, I pulled a stitch. Don't do that. Wait until your doctor clears you. Okay. Trust me. Wait. So we go to our retreat, and I'm talking to Kim Carver, and I'm like, all right, I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. And I had it all planned, because day 1 of me being able to work out again was exactly 4 years to the date that I started my original journey. How cool is that? So I was like, I'm going to ease back into this. I'm going to do the 21-day fix, and I'm going to cat it up. I'm going to modify, and if I need to modify, or I'm going to. I didn't lose a pound, not one. Everybody raves about this program, and I didn't lose a pound. What? So, like, I am not giving up, because I could see progress. I could see the non-scale victories. I talked about on social media the whole time my journey. I talked about my flabby skin. I talked about my breastfeeding cravings. I am me. If I want the wine, I'm going to drink. This is water. Pretend it's wine. If I want the wine, I'm going to drink the wine. If I want the cake, I'm going to eat the cake, because life's too short. If I learned anything from the boys dying, from my father-in-law dying, from my stepdad dying, I didn't even get into that. If I've learned anything from those, it's that life's too damn short. Eat the cake. So I do. So I was like, all right, I did the 21-day fix, didn't lose a pound, but I feel good. I can do some push-ups now. And I decided to do the 21-day fix extreme, because, you do 1 round of the fix, you can do extreme, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, did extreme. Guess what? Didn't lose a pound. I followed that sucker to a T. Didn't work. Well, it did. I got stronger. I was using heavier weights, talking about it the whole time. What I realized is, during this journey, I now have people watching me again, because throughout this vital process, throughout everything, I came back to those 4 vital behaviors. 4 vital behaviors. Number one, and there's nothing above this, you must be a product of the products. You must. If you are not working out, or doing the reset, or doing the refresh, or whatever, you do not have a leg to stand on. If you are not sharing about it, inviting to me, and I try and teach my team, inviting can be just sharing about your day, intriguing people, getting them to engage. I had over 42 comments today on a stupid Instant Pot thing. Dude, you really want a sampler that bad? Okay, whatever. It was, hey, guess what did Kelly go and buy at Costco that wasn't on her list? And it was like, what, diaper wipes, the pressure cooker, and laundry detergent. Okay? 42 people. That's pretty engaging for me because I let my business slide while I was sick, while I was pregnant. But that was me. And the past is the past. I can't dwell on what it was. So I did the 21 to fix the stream, didn't lose any weight, blah, 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 blah. And then Quarter Force came out. Please, how many of you have done Quarter Force? Please raise your hand. And if you haven't, I'm going to punch you in the face. Do Quarter Force. Do it. Guys, that program, I hate cardio. I'm going to tell you, I hate cardio. Hate it. Hate it with every inch of my being. And I love that program. There's not a weight in it. But it is awesome. I know Erica will vouch for that. It is just an amazing program. My favorite part is that Jericho does not show her stomach once. Not one time does that chick show her stomach. Not one time are her boobs up like this. Yes, I just did that. Yes, I did that. Not one time she says, I'm a new mom. I'm doing this too. You can do this. You can get your abs back. And I'll be damned if they're not starting to come back. I did 2 rounds of the fix. The first one I lost, what did I lose? Almost 16 pounds and a crazy amount of inches. I don't know. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to scroll. I'm going to scroll while I'm talking. I lost crazy amount of inches and all that good stuff. I'm not going to. You can go look at my page. It's on my page. Second round was Christmas and New Year's and wine. Lots and lots of wine. Because we had some hand, foot, and mouth going on in there. And if you've ever had hand, foot, and mouth in your house, that equals 5 bottles of wine right there. No calories counted. Wine. So we whined. Because when my 4-year-old whines, I whine. I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. Yeah. Erica says she misses Quarter Force and she's doing hammer and chisel. And actually, that's what I'm doing now, too. I started day 1 today because I started hammer and chisel when I got pregnant. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Nope. And love, do Quarter Force. Please do Quarter Force. I also did a round of the Whole 30. And if you haven't done a round of the Whole 30, it's difficult because you really have to have self-control, but it's amazing. It will change your body in ways that you never knew possible. The whole time I was sharing about my journey, I went back to the basics. Product of the product. I was inviting people, not blatantly like, hey, I have a group, come join me. It was me sharing, and in my sharing, people wanted to be a part of it. Personal development. Oh, personal development. I have to think. Personal development is huge. I don't know if, well, I know Dana knows about this, and her team probably does too. This guy right here, get on it. Get on it. Quit planning by years. Plan by quarters. Who said it? Was that Ashley said the other day? She's like, we were talking on our, in the Diamonds page. She's like, hey, who wants to chat? I was like, sure, why not? She's like, just go diamond every quarter. I'm like, mind blown. My mind was blown. And some people are like, oh, go diamond every quarter? Oh my gosh. Well, that's just a goal that we have. Will I hit it? Probably not. And I'm not like having a business center go diamond. It's just a recruiting thing for me. But I'm doing it by going back to the basics. And then number 4, I never understood, never realized the power of recognition. To me, recognition, I get stuck in this is what one thing should be. This is how it has to be. And that's the only way it can be. I'm thinking recognition is only recognizing people for Success Club, is only recognizing the volume producers. It's only recognizing the new coaches, which is great, which is what you guys did on this team call tonight, which is where that should be done. I forgot about recognizing the small successes, recognizing when a coach gets their first customer, recognizing when your friend who didn't want to get up, the girl that's in the challenge group, didn't want to get up out of bed to work out, just texted you, was like, dude, I'm done, are you? When you have your friends sending you sweaty selfies and they're so excited about it, that's what you recognize. That's what you shout out. That's when you grab one of these. And I have all of these right here. I have a friend that hand makes cards. 4 of them for $5. Write a note. Never underestimate the power of a note. Something as simple as, hey, I was thinking about you today, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Pop it in the mail. You will be shocked at what someone will do for you. You'll be shocked at how those people, how good they feel, how good they want to make others feel. They're referring people to you, or you're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't want the money. Why don't you be a coach and you can get the money? All you have to do is connect with people. I had forgotten how to connect with people. And sometimes I still do, because, let me show you something. My rash is back. See it? It's coming back. And I'm scared out of my mind. I'm afraid that my body is going to start itching again. I was walking around with ice packs on me. You can look on my Facebook and see all the pictures. I've taken enough of your time. I'm scared it's going to get like that again. But there's something I'm doing differently this time. I'm relying on my team. I'm relying on my challengers. I'm not going to go inside. I'm going out. I'm saying, hey, I need to lean on you because I'm scared. I need your help. Can you handle posting in this group for me? Because I have all these doctor's appointments. My poor arms just got healed from all the needle pricks that I had while I was pregnant, and now we're doing it all over again. Guys, I start steroids again tomorrow. I'm scared. But my mess is going to become my message. How many times have you heard Katie Ersta say that? Taylor Moliterno. Look at those 2 girls. If you don't know who they are, go check them out. They've turned their mess into their message, and I will turn this mess into my message. My target audience changes all the time. It's still new moms, but it's back to being autoimmune too. I try and forget and ignore that I have an autoimmune disorder because it's not technically lupus. But it is. And they expect it to progress into full-blown lupus. It's just soft markers. I don't have the internal organ damage. So I'm scared because, and I struggled this morning. I wanted to message Ashley and be like, dude, I'm in a bad place mentally because I'm scared. This started at the beginning of last week. And if you look on my social media, feel free. I'm an open book. You'll see that my posting started to dwindle starting the beginning of last week because I started going in. And then I made a decision. I said, you know what? I could bail on Ashley's team and leave Ashley and Dana and Trisha and all these. I could leave them hanging. And I could just go crawl into bed and hide. Or I can share how I've gone from 3-star diamond, new coach, to 3-star diamond. You want to know what my rank is right now? Because of something really stupid. I'm a Ruby coach. I don't care. I don't care. Rank means nothing to me. Well, one rank means something to me, and that's 5-star because I want the damn 5-star line. That's it. Because I hate dealing with coach relations. That's the only one I care about. Anyways, I'm going to be a lifetime 5-star. Rank doesn't mean anything to me. walking across stage at Summit doesn't mean anything to me. How many medals I have, they're all up here. Doesn't mean anything to me. This right here means something to me. Do you know why the leadership ladder means something to me? Because it means that my coaches are helping people. It means that my coaches are showing people what to do. And yeah, I have it taped right up here on my desk so I can see it. Because I want my team to be helping others. The most important one for me is my personally sponsored coaches with Success Club points. Because if they have Success Club points, then they're helping people. Which means we're doing our jobs. Beachbody is back to basics. You need to get back to basics. You need to be inviting. And even just sharing. Inviting and sharing. You need to be a product of a product. My goodness. I was at a training with Kim Carver November of 2014. No. What year is this? This is 17, 16, 15. Okay. I lose years. I'm sorry. So November of 2015, right before I got pregnant, I was at a training with Kim Carver. And if you've never heard the man speak, he's the coach whisperer. And he was talking and he said, anytime I'm talking to a coach and they're struggling, the first thing I say to them is, did you do you? Did you get your workout in? He said 99.9 times out of 100, the coach says, no, I'm not doing what I should be doing. I don't know if you guys have Energy Busted Up. Is anyone Energy Bus? Do you guys read that? Yeah. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. I also highly recommend anything John Gordon has written. Anything. You can start anywhere. Carpenter's great. There's Energy. I can't even think of them. The No Complaining Rule. That's a great one. Read them all. They all have a similar message, but they all have such great little nuggets in there. Do you every day. I was talking to a challenger today, and I said, you know what? I'm a bad coach. I did not open the group yet, but I will. But I have to go home and do me first. I said, I have to get my workout in because if I don't, soup, shark, goldfish, yep, there's lots of them. I have them all on Audible. Oh, yay. If you guys don't have Audible, get Audible. It's awesome. I have a 25-minute commute to and from work every day when I'm working, so that's when I do my PD. I listen every day, and John Gordon books, they're told in a story, which I much prefer a story. You start shouting theory at me, and I'm like, squirrel. I squirrel very easily. Yeah, anybody else like that? I'm just like, I have ADD so bad, and it's diagnosed, but I don't want to take meds for it. I'd rather just be me. So, but yeah, so you're going to go through ebb and flow, highs and lows in your business. You need to remember that it's all directly related to you. If you can take care of yourself and you can do you, your team's going to follow. Don't try and make it more complicated. Don't worry about setting up the training website, and don't worry about doing this, and don't worry about this spreadsheet and that spreadsheet. Get a damn piece of paper and a pencil and write down your challengers and write down when they got their stuff, and then check in with them a week before it's due, their Shakeology, and say, hey, how you doing with this? You really should be checking in before then. But let them know. It's called good customer service. I will forever, what company was that? I don't even remember right now because I didn't think about it ahead of time, but there was a company that I was talking to. Actually, it was KitchenAid, of all things. My blender broke. I had bought it. We got it as a wedding gift like 8 years prior. And they're like, oh, we'll send you a brand new one. I was like, oh, you win forever. Now it broke again, and this time it wasn't just the pitcher, it was the motor, and I don't expect them to, do it again. So I'm going to go out and get a new blender. But I mean, customer service wins all the time. You can get people just by being so simple as sending a thank you note. So I hope you guys got something from my story tonight. I don't know how many of you are like this, but I tend to think I'm just Kelly. I have nothing to share. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to, fight my way through. Has anyone ever been to Pymatuming, Pennsylvania? Anyone ever been there to see the fish? It's this lake, and they have a spillway. And have you ever seen a carp? It's an ugly fish. Oh God, it's ugly. As these looks like a catfish, but it's fatter and uglier and nasty. And literally, you could go out and walk on these fish. There's so many of them because at the spillway, people come and they throw bread, and they know they're going to be there. And sometimes I feel like I'm one of those fish, just trying to fight my way to the top to get the bread. You have to find the beauty in your story. You have to tell your story. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to post the picture in the sports bra and the pants. Don't be afraid. Because I guarantee you, if anyone says anything bad about it, there's going to be 100 other people who are there loving on you and telling them to go to hell. So don't be afraid. Be public about what you do, meaning make your profile public. It's scary. I'm a school teacher, and my kids can find me, search me, and see anything I do, which is good because I don't swear in my videos, and I keep it nice and clean. But just be you. Do the 4 vital behaviors, and look at me, I'm itching. Gosh, stop doing that. And you have to share about it, and you have to find your passion. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear, somebody else's story and, the regular people who you don't hear from. And it's so funny. I was actually texting Maureen the whole time. I hope she jumps on because you and her are just literally I felt like it was her talking the whole time. You guys need to be best friends because you just have that same, you just get it. Oh my God. So thank you for taking the time and thank you for not being scared and doing it. You know what I mean? It's of course it would have been okay, fine, whatever. But, nothing happens until you push out of that comfort zone. So
you're right. And dude, I talk to 9, 10, 11-year-olds all day. Talking to adults that listen is kind of nice. Well, right now I get puked on every day. Yeah, if you guys need anything, I'm around. I don't know what I can offer anybody, but if you never need an ear or, anything, let me know. I'm around.
I never realized how many similarities and commonalities that I never did.
We need to hook up, Chica.
We should chat for sure. I was listening to you talking and I was like, holy crap, I never even knew that. It's just so obviously they're, follow people, but not a lot. And not to be offensive to you, but I try to not follow other Beachbody coaches too closely because then it makes me feel like I'm inadequate and I suck at life. So I stopped doing it.
I followed my uplines, my downlines, the top coaches. Do you guys know how to make lists in Facebook?
No.
Yes. They got rid of it. It actually just came back.
They didn't get rid of it. They hid it.
Oh.
It's just not in your time. It's not in your group anymore. You have to actually go to the list.
Oh, okay.
It's still there because all mine that were there were still there.
Okay, good.
I have a list of my Beachbody friends that I go in and I purpose Ashley and Danny and I had no downline Allison. If I want to go see my friends, I purposefully go through that once a day to make sure I'm seeing my friends because I compare myself. And I can't compare myself. If I want to compare myself, Miguel Carrasco and I started coaching the same day. Yeah. That makes you feel real good, doesn't it? Alyssa Showmaker signed up after me. So, there's a million things you could do to, be oh, wow. Blinders on, head down, go. Do you. Always. So, all right, I must shut up. I talk too much. I'm sorry.
Does anybody have anything they want to ask Kelly, or any comments, anything you guys want to add?
Thanks for taking the time to come on and share with us, Kelly.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. My girls that are on, thank you so much for getting on.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for the gentle, universal reminder of those small little things that we need to do.
Yes, it's the
that
small
we always
things.
lose focus on.
The small things.
And my whole deal for this year is, it didn't initially start off this way, but like kind of is now. And it involves being a product of the product. I am over, like, I take care of everybody else. And I'm the biggest friggin' advocate for like self-care, but then I'm not even following my own advice.
Take your own advice.
So, product of the product is me taking care of me first, because I have not been doing that. And then I feel like in turn, everything else is going to, and it kind of, it is Maureen talking. Who is that?
It's Michael.
Oh.
At school, we always tell kids, if you can be committed to one thing, like our kids that are organizationally challenged, which is me, but I'm like, squirrel, told you that already. We tell them, if you can be committed to one thing, usually everything else falls in line. If you can be committed to coming home every day and doing your homework, usually everything else is going to fall in line that way. And do you? I do me before I do my challengers. I have to. If you haven't read the Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, read it. Read it.
Kelly, thank you so much. The messages I sent you are just the beginning of the iceberg. But you and I have got so much in common. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's and you would never know that because we don't share those things that are scary. And you're afraid. Don't be afraid. Share it. You never know the similarities between people unless you share it and you tell your story and you ask people to share their stories.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes us, Beachbody, so different than every other company, is that we've always focused on that, sharing your story. We don't want to just put up a product or put up a challenge group invite or put up anything. You get people interested by doing you, and it was the same thing for me when I first started. I just was like, all right, I'm gonna do this and share it, and then if you want to, you want to know about it, they're gonna ask. So, nice reminder to stay focused on that or get back to that, depending on where you are. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again. I don't want to take up anybody else's time. I know it's late there on the East Coast time, but I will post a recording so you guys can share it with your teams. And thank you again so much, Kelly.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, anytime. Thank you.